Okay, take notes, yeah? My name's Brocky Aloysius Chopra. People call me Brocky. You've asked me many times, so yes, I will tell you, but only with you and only this once. Some say I was a lonely child, but I don't think so. I like to be around certain kinds of people, interesting people, people who told stories, especially. These stories help counter the things that recurred most in my childhood, those dreams, the bad dreams. I mean, it's the reason my mother started buying the dream catchers. They hung above my bed, and every year getting more colorful, more elaborate. She always said that they'd filter out the nightmares. My dad scoffed at them. He used to shame my mom for believing in them. Never stopped your bloody nightmares, he'd say. Me, he'd come, brag, criticize, a walking rain cloud of success and sarcasm, then reach up into the winds of ambition and let them sweep him away again. I rarely saw him. The only parts of himself he ever really shared were actually bruising. I recall a scathing remark he made about my late grandmother. He implied some curse handed down generation to generation, a curse of nightmares in my mother's bloodline. Mum said it was a lie, but when she said it, I caught a strangeness in her eye. What is that other thing? Yeah, significant relationships outside the family. Well, there were three great loves in my life, and before I tell you the pieces of the grand puzzle each of them helped me find, I should tell you how I found them. A dating site. I mean, I find it both funny and meaningful, and you know why? Because dating sites have filters. Filters to identify the best prospects using common interests. Artificial intelligence's stab at a dream catcher. I mean, it only lets the good stuff through, though. There was Margaret, a nurse, shift worker. She vented her work stress, dancing and drinking, a lot of drinking. I couldn't keep up. She told me some lovely stories. I mean, of children recovering from injuries and illness, coming back from the brink, parents' happy tears, the thank you notes and gifts. But the way she partied so hard, often blacking out, I knew she was holding back the real story of a life never told, or a loss, the endless frustration of her work. I mean, we'd been together 6 months. I bought her a dream catcher, hung it over the bed, told her it might help with the things we never talked about. Then she said it. Said what she really needed was a soul catcher. The words tore through me. I'd never heard that expression before. I was triggered. Endless thinking, sleepless nights at times, and when I did sleep, dreams, the old dreams. I mean, it wasn't her fault, of course. I mean, she was an angel, a fighter for life against death, yet for all her goodness, it was making her rot, decay from the inside out. She deserved escape and a release. What can I say? I mean, in time we fought and she she walked. I mean, then I was saved by another girl on the side, Pixeline, fresh young hippie thing, all beads, crystals, and a dash of rebellion. I told her once that her spirit reminded me of Che Guevara. Pixeline, she named herself, after a song in her aunt's old CD collection. She despised her ex-soldier father for naming her Bertha. Pixie loved that I cooked. I mean, she never did herself. I mean, she rarely worked. No need with the guilt that suddenly rich daddy had for his little girl. I mean, was it over how she turned out, or something more, some darker thing between them? I mean, she was potential itself, but someone had plucked it from her. I could feel it. Eventually, I probed, I challenged. She grew angry and she broke up with me wordlessly. The turning point, the crucial page, was Sylvia, my Sylvia. self-made businesswoman selling quality ancient Egyptian-style trinkets online. So proud of a sweeping mental library of obscure, unrelated facts. Over time, I realized she'd been sent to me as a teacher. I mean, she was somewhat of an expert on these historical murder cases. I mean, Jack the Ripper, Lizzie Borden, that type of stuff. Sylvia knew so much. She told me with fascinated delight all manner of gems. Did you know that Abraham Lincoln, as a lawyer, got a guy off a murder charge once because he proved there was no moon out that night, so he couldn't have been correctly identified? Yeah, well, although he probably did do it. Miss Sylvia taught me all that and more. It was Sylvia who opened my eyes. By the end of my time with her, I knew my fate. Ironic, yes. She was sent to teach me. And the very night that she confessed she wanted to break up with me, she took me to that page. She showed me that there were over 40 commonly available poisons hidden in plain sight in hardware stores, at the chemist, even on supermarket shelves that don't show up on standard forensic blood scans. The list of products, their ingredients, all were there. Our one time on the dark web. The dark web. The real dream catcher. I don't know the exact moment I realized it. I hadn't needed a dream catcher. I just needed to walk the path, take the journey to the truth, to be a catcher, not of dreams, but of souls needing to go home. Each of them were great steps, destiny unfolding. Margaret opened my eyes to the endless grief loving souls must bear. Pixeline to the imprisonment the free of heart are doomed to suffer. Sylvia to that smothering sorrow, mediocrity. Not even an ocean of titillating knowledge can wash it away. But she was sent to give me the tools to set people free. It was only fitting that the three of them became my first acts of pure mercy. None deserved it more. They were sent to ready me, to make me the final filter, the releaser, deliverer, the soul catcher. Brock, Aloysius Chopra. A final meal for old time's sake. Simplicity itself for a guy who loves to cook for girlfriends and ex-girlfriends. You see, catch and release. Of course, I honored Sylvia by saving her first. And when I found them again, Margaret, then Pixeline, they felt no pain, only freedom. I set them free. The others too, I set them all free. I could set you free too, Dr. Richards.